Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Hypnospace Outlaw. This is a game that I found on Gamepass about a week or two ago, and I was just installing random things to try, and the cover kind of intrigued me, the artwork. It looked like sort of a weird cyberpunk thing with someone's face that was like glowing with computer things floating around them. Totally my speed. So I'm like, oh, what is this, like a little run and gun shooter or an adventure game or something with cyberpunk aesthetics, which is one of my favorite genres. I was so wrong. It's a game that is extremely slow but interesting. That's a 90s throwback internet game. So it's a little difficult to explain, but you can definitely look up videos or screenshots online. You're playing almost like a detective or an enforcer of an AOL type software that is out called Hypno OS, I think, or Hypnospace or whatever. And what you have to do is you have to go on these old-fashioned web pages in the game and track things down. Some of them are very simplistic, some of them are way complicated, and then report things that you find on the web pages, whether it be copyright infringement, malicious software, people stealing music, harassment, people insulting or threatening people online. And you have to go into each of these old-fashioned looking 90s web pages that are done very, very well. I was there in the 90s when the internet really boomed and got big. When AOL 3.0 was like the thing, and then they came out with 4 and it was like, wow. And your computer had 200 megahertz and 32 megs of RAM. It was absurd. And that was probably nothing, you know what I mean? People before me had even worse computers. So computers were thousands of dollars. So that being said, it shows old websites, like fake old websites that you have to navigate, and you do like detective work. You read different posts from people, go through different web pages. Some of them have like little secret ways to get through the web pages or password locked content, and you have to then flag what is inappropriate for your service, for your AOL type service. And it was just an ingenious idea. I've never seen a game like this before. It was definitely slow, and it's not for everyone. You have to be in the right state of mind and sort of engross yourself in old internet culture, because that's exactly what it feels like. You have to be able to sit there and deal with the old internet ways of things, of scrolling really slowly and clicking on things, and they take a little bit to load, and the graphics are kind of fuzzy, and there's like little, I don't think there's really much in terms of full motion video, but there's little clips, or you can download like MP3s and play them and stuff, little music clips. It's really weird, and it's very difficult to describe. It has a really cool aesthetic. There's points in the game where your system crashes, or you can get a virus, or you can download an antivirus, or all this crazy stuff starts popping up on your screen, and you have to clean it and then find who's putting it out there and report them. And the story just gets deeper and deeper. Admittedly, I didn't get too into the story, but the story gets deeper and deeper and sort of dark by the end of the game. It's not a very long game. I think if you use a walkthrough, you can skip through big chunks of the game because you can just report things that are meant to be reported later on. But I played through all the main missions. I did a couple optional missions. Nothing is really spoon-fed to you. That's the thing. You have to be in the mood to engross yourself in this old-fashioned internet era and just take it in and go slow, which was interesting for me because I only was able to really play if like the baby was sleeping, or maybe he was just sitting with me and he would stare at the screen once in a while because there's all these crazy colors and old internet nostalgia looking stuff happening. Screensavers, there's one with blocks that are falling down just like the old like Windows 95 screensavers. The idea of this game was just so interesting to me. I didn't think the gameplay was like phenomenal, and it's nothing I'd really play again. But in terms of the idea and what this person did, they totally made it feel like browsing the internet in the infancy of it. And it was so cool. I definitely got into it, and the aesthetic was great. The storyline was pretty interesting. The characters were pretty interesting. And throughout the game, you get like emails and hints and secrets and different cases you can go on, and then you have to report things. And like I said, by the end of the game, it does get a little dark in terms of what happens. But I wouldn't really recommend it to everyone. Again, you have to be in the right mind state. And I think you'd appreciate it more if you have some form of nostalgia for old AOL or old, Earthlink, old internet back when Juno, back when it started getting popular around, was that like 94, 95 roughly? But yeah, Hypnospace Outlaw was a really interesting take, and check it out. Let me know if you guys have Gamepass, what you thought of it. Again, it's slow, so you have to really be in the mood to just kind of relax and take it in. Have a cup of coffee, sit back and enjoy it. Don't try and rush through it or want some kind of action. There's like no action in the game at all. It's not an action game. Keep that in mind. Let me know, guys, if you've played it or if you download it, what you think. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.